the WNBA storm has finally broken loose, and the name at the center of the chaos is one that once symbolized order and growth: Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. For years, she was celebrated as the polished, corporate-minded leader who could take women's basketball from the fringes of mainstream attention into the bright lights of global sports. But now, her empire is trembling. The same boardrooms that once applauded her are turning against her. The same fans who once cheered her announcements are now booing her in public arenas. And the same players who were promised a better future are openly questioning whether the person leading their league ever truly understood them at all. It began quietly, whispers among executives, owners, and team insiders who felt Engelbert was losing her grip. Those whispers have now erupted into a full-blown rebellion. Reports from inside the league reveal that multiple WNBA team owners are ready to push for Engelbert's removal once the current collective bargaining negotiations are complete. The growing discontent isn't just about one bad season or a few controversial decisions. It's about a deep loss of faith in her leadership, in her ability to bridge the widening gap between players and ownership, and in her handling of the league's most pivotal moment, the rise of Caitlin Clark. What makes this downfall so dramatic is that Engelbert's leadership was once seen as the WNBA's greatest strength. She brought in millions in new funding, landed partnerships with major corporations, and secured an unprecedented $75 million investment round in 2022. On paper, the league had never looked stronger. But behind the numbers, discontent festered. Owners say they were blindsided by how much power Engelbert gave away in exchange for that investment. 16% of the WNBA sold off to outside investors, giving them influence over decisions that once rested solely with team owners. Many inside the league now view that moment as the beginning of the end, the day the commissioner traded the league's autonomy for short-term corporate applause. The tension hit its peak when Engelbert walked onto the court during the WNBA Finals trophy presentation this year. The moment should have been triumphant, the commissioner celebrating another milestone for the league. Instead, she was met with thunderous boos that echoed through the arena. Fans weren't just venting frustration over a bad call or a tough season. They were rejecting her leadership altogether. Clips of the moment went viral within hours, spreading across social media with captions like, "The fans have spoken." Even legendary players like Lisa Leslie weighed in, acknowledging that while she fell for Engelbert, the boos reflected years of pent-up anger. That public humiliation was the symbol of everything collapsing behind the scenes. League executives reportedly called emergency meetings afterward, trying to calm sponsors who expressed concern about the league's image. Even Adam Silver, commissioner of the NBA and Engelbert's direct superior, was said to be monitoring the situation closely. Publicly, he praised her for the WNBA's growth. Privately, insiders say his patience is wearing thin. Silver has received multiple complaints from team owners frustrated by Engelbert's tone-deaf handling of issues ranging from player relations to officiating scandals. Some believe Silver is already preparing for the inevitable: a leadership change. The crisis isn't just about one person. It's about a league struggling to find its identity in an era of explosive attention and scrutiny. Engelbert's downfall accelerated with her mishandling of Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise. Clark brought in millions of new fans, record-breaking viewership, and a cultural spotlight unlike anything women's basketball had ever seen. But instead of embracing that energy, Engelbert treated it like a problem to manage. Her silence during moments of controversy, especially when Clark faced rough treatment on the court, angered fans and alienated sponsors. When she finally did address it, her dismissive tone only made things worse. What should have been a golden era for the WNBA turned into one of the most divisive seasons in its history. Officiating was another nail in the coffin. The season was riddled with controversial calls that visibly affected outcomes, and the backlash reached fever pitch during the semifinals. Players took to social media, calling out referees and demanding accountability. Coaches lost their tempers in post-game interviews. Yet Engelbert said nothing. Her refusal to address the crisis turned frustration into fury. By the time the finals arrived, even casual fans were questioning whether the games were being fairly officiated. "If the product looks rigged, fans stop watching," one executive reportedly said. And in a league that relies heavily on public trust, perception is everything. Inside WNBA headquarters, sources describe a fractured environment, closed-door meetings filled with tension and owners demanding accountability. Some have reportedly started compiling lists of potential replacements, including former NBA executives and ex-players known for strong leadership. They're not waiting for Engelbert to resign. They're preparing for her to be pushed out. One insider described the situation bluntly. "It's not a matter of if, it's when." The irony is that Engelbert still insists she's not quitting. During the finals, she told reporters, "I've never been a quitter." But that defiance only reinforces what critics say is her biggest flaw, her inability to read the room. The fans have spoken. The players have spoken. Even the owners, the very people she represents, are making their stance clear. Her leadership has become a unifying problem in a league that desperately needs unity. And yet, despite all this, Engelbert's fall is as much a reflection of the WNBA's growing pains as it is of her mistakes. The league has exploded in visibility, but its infrastructure hasn't caught up. The balance between business growth and cultural authenticity has never been harder to maintain. Engelbert's corporate-first mindset built revenue but broke relationships. Her focus on image alienated the very people who gave the WNBA its soul. The players, the fans, the passionate community that carried it through decades of struggle. Now, the league faces its greatest test. Can it rebuild trust before the damage becomes permanent? Sponsors are watching closely. Fans are restless. Players are demanding change. And the owners, the ones holding the real power, have already decided the future doesn't include Cathy Engelbert. Her legacy, once built on business innovation, may now be defined by disconnection. She brought the WNBA to new heights of visibility but lost the human touch that made it matter. In chasing corporate growth, she forgot that the heart of the league wasn't in boardrooms, it was on the court. The rebellion has begun, and the boardroom knives are out. Whether Engelbert steps down gracefully or is quietly replaced after the CBA negotiations, one thing is certain: the WNBA she built will never be the same again. The players and fans want leadership that listens, not lectures, that protects, not profits. And this time, they're not afraid to demand it. But what do you think? Has Cathy Engelbert been unfairly targeted? Or did her corporate leadership truly push the league into crisis? Should the WNBA start fresh under new leadership? Or does she deserve one last chance to make things right? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you've been following this unfolding drama as closely as we have, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because the fight for the future of the WNBA is only just beginning.